What's the word, everybody? Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I did. Turkey turned out tremendous. It was great. But anyways, what I'm going to go over here today is this. This is the chocolate milk stout I brewed back around January. It was a while back, and I've got a video on that. If you go through my videos, you'll see that I brewed this a while back, damn near a year ago. So anyways, I've been letting it age. I've had a few in between, but I wanted to do an official review of it, almost a year later. So I'm going to go ahead and get into a bottle, my butterfly bottle opener here. Yep. Let's go ahead and pop the top on this and see how it turned out almost a year later. And I'm not pouring it super aggressively, but it's well carbonated. And go ahead and get a little head going on this thing, huh? Man, look at that. I love pouring into these tulip glasses just because of that reason right there. But yeah, look at that. Looks like a dessert. But I can smell the chocolate on the nose where I even got close to it here. But man, that chocolate is really just kind of coming through even more today. It definitely smells like it's been settled a bit. Man, it smells like a, if I could describe it, it smells like a chocolate, like a dark chocolate Hershey's bar. It's very sweet smelling chocolate roast, a little bit of coffee on that nose. You cannot see through this beer at all. It comes out in kind of a brown hue, but it's a real dark brown. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it a swig here. Wow, so smooth, so smooth. Oh man, I actually sent this out to a couple of you viewers before, a while back though, to try it out. Under the Table Brewing, you have this beer too, and I think you've already busted it open and drank it. But if you guys, whenever you get around to posting your review, I'd love to see that. But man, this thing has really just gotten great with age. Smooth mouthfeel. There's lactose sugar in it, so a non-fermentable sugar that really added to the creaminess to this beer. But man, it's holding head, keeping the head on top like no problem. I don't hand wash my glasses, like I said. Look at the lacing. Good lacing on the glass. We're gonna let this thing warm up a little bit. These stouts and porters and darker beers, they really have a good character to them, especially in the mid 50s range on temperature. I'm gonna let this kind of sit aside. I wanted to go over something else on the Catalyst fermenter. It's performing really well. I can already see this brown porter that I just brewed and demonstrated with you guys on the secondary. It's really clearing up. It's really clearing up. Proteins have settled. The jar is full of proteins, just chunks of protein, yeast all mixed in with it. And then I can also see at the top of that jar, and I may shoot a shot of it, where that yeast is kind of just sitting on the rim there, and I think it's because it can't fall down into the jar. So what I'm going to end up doing is I do plan on bottling this beer just because I want to demonstrate the bottling capabilities of it. Just how that goes. But somebody, actually a couple people asked some questions about bottling and will it work with a bottling wand, the tubing that they give you and everything. So I'm here to show you that yes, it will work with the actual bottling, a spring tip bottling wand. I've already put it on, but this is the I'll take it off if you want. I mean, this is your typical spring-tipped racking cane or bottle cane, and not much to it. You know, most of you guys are familiar with this if you've been home brewing for a while. You usually start out bottling anyway, so this is typically what you would get in the homebrew kit, and these wear out and you have to get a new one because they get scratched and everything, and you just want to keep your stuff from getting infected, so you have to replace them every so often. But yes, there's a little spring tip bottle cane, and basically this is the tubing. It's not very long. I'd say it's maybe 3 feet of tubing, probably around 3.5 feet of tubing or so that they give you with the catalyst. This is the little bottling attachment that goes at the bottom of your catalyst. You screw it, take the jar out, screw this on. Also, the tubing just simply slides on. Pretty easy to get on without having to heat up the tube. It goes right on just like so. And the other end is you can take your bottle cane, and the inside diameter of the tubing is perfect for this. You just slide your bottle can on and boom, there you go. You can put it on a little more than that, and I will, of course. You don't want to sanitize all this, of course, before you start bottling. But Craft the Brew, I think I was on Homebrew Talk forums. My user ID on Homebrew Talk is Stout, no doubt. So if you're ever on there, you can go check that out. I've been commenting kind of off and on those forums about the Craft the Brew catalyst fermenter. But basically what Craft the Brew was saying is people were really worried about when you put this on, you're gonna have air all in this, right? So what Craft the Brew was saying, and we'll see if it holds true, is you can screw this on anyways. Make sure the tubing is open. Make sure that this is open and not clamped. And what will happen is when you open up the thing, the valve, the solution wort will push the air on through and out without causing a bubble through the fermenter. So what I'm going to do is have my racking cane on there, and I'm going to have like a glass on the side or something. I'm going to screw this on, and when I open that valve, I'm going to have this depressed so that the air gets pushed on out, and then once I get a good solution coming through and any yeast or anything that might have been built up, will push all that out first. And once I have a good clear indicator that it's just good old wort flowing out, then I will start filling my bottles. So it'd be good. It definitely would be a good idea. I wouldn't use the clampy tube clamp that comes with it, the little white clamp. I've never liked that thing. I've never used it. No matter what, I'm actually having a hard time getting this off. So anyways, I'll have to get it off later with some hot water. But I definitely recommend putting a racking cane on the end. Don't use the clampy thing that comes with it. Some of you guys, maybe y'all do bottle using that clamp. I wouldn't. I would put a cane on the end. That way you have better control of flow. So when you're changing to different bottles, you don't gotta like emergency clamp it down. You just basically just stop depressing your bottle filler, and you shouldn't have any problems. But yeah, that's my opinion on this. I'm gonna give it some real world trial here. Next weekend I will be videoing doing that, so guys stay tuned for that. I will demonstrate bottling with the catalyst. I know there's not a lot of videos out there on the catalyst. I've kind of jumped on it and put some out there because one thing I've always been frustrated with is when a new product comes out, nobody takes the time to put a video out and review it. So I'm kind of, if I get my hands on something new, I definitely want to demonstrate it and share it with everyone. This channel is kind of just everywhere, really, from barbecuing and then beer tastings to brewing and then demonstrating new products. So with that being said, I am close to 1,000 subscribers by the time I post this, if I'm not at 1,000, but I will be doing a giveaway and I'm still figuring out what I'm going to do. So I appreciate all the subscriptions. Now let's get back to this chocolate milk stout, shall we? And as it warms up, that malt just really comes out, man. It gets even heavier on the malt. It's very thick, very desserty, creamy, slight bitterness on the hops, but not really. It was just kind of hot. The hops in this particular beer were really just to kind of off balance or balance out, you know, the sweetness with some bitterness, so it's not overly sweet, because this is definitely a sweet chocolate milk stout. And I believe this is my last bottle, which is kind of the reason why I brewed the brown porter. And it would be better to bottle that beer anyways, the brown porter, because letting it age in the bottles for a while is a good idea. But getting the carbonation profile has always been a challenge for me when I'm bottling. But anyways, you guys, another thing is people are asking about mixing in the priming solution into the catalyst. How are you going to do that? The only thing I could think that would work and that I'm going to do myself is I'm not going to put the priming solution in a jar underneath. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the priming solution, mix it with some hot water, boiling hot pretty much, let it sit and cool down a little bit, and then I'm going to take that and just kind of pour it into the top of the fermenter, and then I'm going to take a sanitized spoon and kind of just mix it, just slowly mix it in, not to disturb too much yeast or sediment or anything. And then after I do that, I'm going to let it sit a little while longer so that that yeast settles again, and then I'll bottle. So that's all I got for you in this video. But like I said, thanks for all new subscribers, and we got more coming. So cheers.